This boot right here has by degree changed this YouTube channel, changed me, changed the way I plan on doing business going forward, changed how I look at the international market. Again, at least by degree. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Hello, I'm Jacob and you are watching the Prepper's Bunker Outdoors. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to my patrons on Patreon. Your patronage helps me fund this channel to do honest gear reviews and videos while being paid by the subscriber and viewer instead of the incorporation. I believe that helps keep things honest. Also, you can check out my personal businesses, Exodus Knife and Tool for my knives, and Beach and Tactical for my custom handmade to order slings, slings that I designed while serving in Afghanistan. Finally, for the month of August, my channel sponsor is Combat Art Training, another veteran making his own product, revolutionary, awesome products at a great price. Please check him out. All of these links will be in the description box below, along with my affiliate links, as well as a coupon code to Kentuckiana Gunworks. He makes awesome oil and grease. It's the only stuff that I use for my pews. Let's get you right back to the content. So what is it? This is a boot from Norvid 8. I will have a review, the full initial impressions review up on this boot tomorrow. I've used this boot hiking in the Grand Tetons. I've used this boot hiking at Arches National Park. I believe I wore this boot at Mesa Verde. This boot has got some pretty serious miles on it, but this boot is represents the first time an Amazon company ever reached out to me and I replied in the positive. So here we go. Why is this important for my channel? On this channel, I like to review gear typically from the perspective of duty grade gear. So as an example, while I was in Afghanistan, I saw a lot of gear fail. A lot of 511, a lot of the Bug Out Bag brand, a lot of inferior gear. I saw a lot of boots fail. I saw a lot of stuff fail. I experienced myself a lot of failure, and when I came home and I started getting into survival and bushcraft, I saw products being promoted that were absolutely subpar, and people would review these products after using these products for a week. You know, a hiking boot, if you've got 50 miles on a hiking boot, let's not do a full review on the hiking boot, right? And so for the most part on this channel, I have reviewed gear from a perspective of real use. There are certain products that I have reviewed just for the fun of the product, not a product that is specifically designed to be the best or the most practical or anything else, just a fun product, and that's fine, but for the most part, serious reviews. And when it comes to people who are thinking about serious use items, especially preppers, you know, guys that work a normal 9 to 5 that are thinking about an emergency situation where they may have to really use a product, but they don't have the experience to know what's good and what's not. Tools, boots, bags. Bags is a huge one. Everybody's got subpar bags, and people don't talk about it enough. By the way, if you want a really good bag, go to the Hidden Woodsman. If they don't have a bag that you like, I'm perfectly fine with suggesting Gray Ghost Gear or Tactical Tailor, but Hidden Woodsman's my go-to. But bags, I see bags fail. When you're living out of a bag and it fails, your life gets really sucky. When your bag is poorly designed and it is starting to cause imbalances and strains and sprains, and you still have to continue to move, your life gets really sucky. And boots are the same way. I'm carrying this out too long here. Guys, boots are very important. Not too long ago, I would have told any Chinese manufacturer to take a hike. So, but really, I wanted to review American-made gear. So, we have a few things to consider here. Is there an American market for the product we are talking about? So when it comes to a lot of firearms and knives, there's never a time where you have to buy an imported knife. I'm not against buying an imported knife, guys. I review knives from Poland and Sweden and all over the place. Love them, even Taiwan. But you don't have to. And you can't tell me I can't afford such and such, so I had to buy imported. That does not exist. Firearms, you do not have to buy imported. Backpacks, you do not have to buy imported backpacks, kit, mag pouches, IFAKs gear. You don't have to. Seriously. But some places we do. This phone that I'm on, yes, this phone is imported. So, guys, there are things that you have to buy in your life that are going to be imported. Look, my refrigerator is made in America. My washing machine is made in America. If you want to buy made in America, you can buy made in America for the vast majority of everything, but there are certain markets where you pretty much cannot, and there's nothing wrong with that. The people who use that as an excuse, however, oh, you want everybody to buy everything that they can made in America? Well, where is your cell phone made? Okay. They aren't making an argument to you. They are making excuses to yourself. So if you are in a market where you cannot find something made in America, what's the next best thing? Possibly an American brand that exports their products overseas. And that's where we're going to get to the bulk of this video, even though it took me, 7 minutes to get to here? We are talking about boots. I have bought from Merrell. I've bought from Keen. One other brand that's one of these big hiking brands. Can't remember which. Doesn't matter. I like Keens. I won't buy them anymore. And I won't buy Merrells anymore either. Merrells I had problems with repeatedly with customer service, quality control, longevity. I've had a lot of problems with Merrell, but Keens I have liked. But what do you do when you have an American made or an American brand that's making their product overseas? They're charging a premium price for their product, but that excess of revenue that they make and that market share that they have earned, your money is going to a political agenda. Recently, Merrell, Keen, they have all jumped onto a homosexual and trans positive agenda, which you follow the trail, and that's a pedophile agenda. You see them pushing these things. They're putting vast amounts of money. You buy from the North Face, and they're paying Patagonia more in a summer than I'm going to make in a lifetime to dress up as a woman and go prance around like he enjoys doing. All right? I don't want my money supporting these things. These companies like the North Face and Patagonia and Cotopaxi donate 1% of their sales to a nonprofit organization that they own and operate, and that money gets funneled where? Directly into Democrat pockets, directly into politics, directly into an agenda that I absolutely oppose. All of this went through my head in about the 5 seconds it took me before I told Norvid 8 not to contact me again in the email. I was that close. I've done it. I've probably done it 10,000 times on this channel. I'm not interested. Please do not contact me again. The sign did something different. I accepted the review because if my choice is between a company owned overseas selling a good product, good being the key and good being what we're testing, I'm not ready to give this my seal of approval, even though my experiences so far have been positive. But if I have to choose between a good overseas or even Chinese company with overseas manufacturing and a good American-owned company that is making their products also overseas, but who is using the money to promote agendas that I do not support, why not save my money and go with a company like this? I talk about things like boycotts a lot. Not cancel culture, but boycotts. More important than boycotts to me, the thing that gets talked about less is boycotts. And I want to go buy from companies that I support and that I like. And there are still companies in the USA making boots. I'm not familiar with any that make boots like this, and I'm not really familiar with any that I can afford. Nick's Boots, I believe up in Spokane, Washington. Like, I grew up in Washington around Filson and around, I can't think of it now, but all of these boots companies in the Northwest. Nick's is still made in country. Filson, most of their crap is just imported now. They import it from Bangladesh, the same $50 shirt that you'd buy anywhere else, and they charge $180 for it. Anyways, there are some boots made in America, but mostly from what I have found, work boots or military boots. For hiking boots, I haven't seen anything, and while I'm willing to spend $150, $180, or $200, most of what I've seen is running $500. This is an extremely limited market for American manufacture. So again, if I have to choose between supporting a political ideology that I hate and getting, if this is the same quality, this quality boot, but they're also supporting something else, and just paying for the boot itself, guys, these are running $60. Might as well pay $60, because the other thing that I want to support on this channel is finding the best deals out there on the best quality products to get you outside and having an adventure. I just got back from a 2-week trip. I did 5,000 miles all over the country, 4 or 5, 6 national parks. I can't remember. It was absolutely inspiring. I had an amazing time, and I found a lot of ways where I could do it cheaper, and I would love to help my audience find out how to also do it cheaper, how they can also save money, how they can take their families out, take this time off of work, and get out there. But you can't, or you shouldn't do it loading up the cart with Walmart quality gear. Those boots, what's a medical bill worth? You save $50 or $100 on a pair of boots, but you sprain your ankle, break your ankle, you fall, you have a bad fall, you break a bone, you have to be carried out, you have to be flown out. Did you save money? You could injure yourself for the rest of your life. Did you save money? There are places not to skimp. So if I can find the point of diminishing returns, the point where spending more gets you less and less and less, that's what I'd like to advertise. So this could be an opportunity for me to do that. So at this point, if a Chinese company reaches out to me, would you like to review our products? If it is in a market that is entirely or almost entirely devoid of American manufacturing, I might take it up. What we've got going so far on these boots, I've got well over 100 miles on these boots, undoubtedly, some of which very hard miles. We've got, some of the texture and the detail worn off the soles. We'll talk about that more later. I'm gonna wear these for about a year, and then I'm gonna cut them right down the center, and we're gonna look at them from the inside. I absolutely despise the idea of potentially losing my credibility in the eyes of viewers because I received a product for free, which means if I get something like this, I have to test it in a way that's indisputable. So if I show you miles on the boot, if I show you wear on the boot, if I cut the boot in half, I can't fake what I'm going to show you. I can't fake the wear. And I have to absolutely make sure that I can do that, and I want to do that. And my goal is going to be, look, if these are the best $60 that gets you on the trail, and that money's not going to Patagonia, then maybe that's what you need to do. I don't know. It's kind of, you know, and the guys that sent me this from Norvid 8, look, I don't want to support China. I don't. I want to support America first. I want to see my neighbors working these Chinese jobs. But if that's not going to happen, then that's not going to happen. I do live in the real world, believe it or not. And I have seen how difficult it is to get employees to work. We have created a culture of non-workers in America. So, you know, can't blame anybody else when all of our jobs are overseas, I guess, especially in a country where people don't care about buying locally manufactured stuff. So I guess what I'm saying is this is the point in time where I am going to be moving away from a harder line in the sand. And really, I'm probably making too big of a deal of it. Really, probably I'm my own worst enemy. That does not mean that I will end up like Rodney Taylor at Black Scout Survival, who's yelling from the rooftops that the communist Chinese are taking over, while the vast majority of the products that he sells, that he brands, that he puts his logo on, are made in America. You're not going to see that from me and from my channel, regardless of what the industry does. But it is time for some concessions to be made. I think it can potentially benefit the viewer, and I'm doing it. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. This was a bit of a longer and more rambly video, and it's also one where people will probably misinterpret what I said and get wrapped around the axle in both directions, both cussing me for being isolationist in manufacturing in a global market and cussing me for taking Chinese shoes. If you're in the latter, look at your feet. Up until now, I wore Rocky boots from the military that were made in America for the most part, but like I said, I'd been wearing Merrells and Keens. They ain't made in America, and they ain't supporting the values that you uphold. Let me think in the comment section below. I already said that, but have a blessed day. Talk to you later.